Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today, very important topic, the strongest weapon for the end of 2025. So with the September update, what is the strongest weapon? Answer is 3 weapons. Each one of those is the strongest depending on circumstances. So it's not like those 3 are close together. In different circumstances, different weapon will be number 1. And I will showcase all of them using Guardian as a test dummy, as that's the best test dummy to showcase the damage. So first one, Enclave Plasma with a Flamer. This is number 1 for close range. And stronger without VATS than with VATS, which is surprising, but yes, Ability of Scope and Smart Shot perk causes it to do actually more damage outside of VATS, if you can hit a weak spot without VATS, of course. So that's close range number 1, and yes, including melee range, which means Auto Axe or Minigun Shredder is currently weaker than Enclave Plasma Flamer. Next weapon is Quad Elder's Mark. For this one, it is the strongest when stealth is available and if you need a little bit more range than what Enclave Plasma Flamer offers. So at range, when stealth is available, Quad Elder's Mark will dish out the highest possible damage. And lastly, you know that if we add a little bit, a pinch of personal bias, that would be my number 1 overall of all weapons always. But objectively, it is number 1 when you need a little bit more range, so that's the range is in here, and when stealth is not available. Which is a lot of circumstances, to be honest. Stealth is not available very often. So without stealth, and when you need to use range, Gauss Minigun, it's absolute beast in VATS and outside of VATS. About its particular modifications, Pentabarrel and 3-barrel, those 2 options are so close DPS-wise that I will need to do like more in-depth testing in the future to figure out what's absolute best possible configuration to dish out the highest DPS, assuming all 2-shot related bugs will be fixed. Now, let's start the showcase from the closest range possible. So that's Enclave Plasma Rifle on the Guardian, and we'll be using whatever we can on the Guardian. So all the food, it's the quick look and the build quick look, all the food, a bunch of serums to suppress side effects. Outside of magazines and bobbleheads, basically everything is running that could benefit me. No bobblehead, no magazine, that's only minus. If you want more realistic scenario without everything squeezed in that's possible, I was doing that on livestream intentionally when I was comparing those weapons to give them like the even playfield. But now for this video, I'm optimizing for maximum possible damage for each of those weapons. So that's the first one, that's the loadout I'm using with Enclave Plasma Flamer. Those are the legendary perks equipped in here. So everything that can give me maximum damage. The downside is a little bit less consistency, but we are not comparing which of those 3 weapons is strongest, because we know all of them are. I just want to showcase all those weapons' particular strength and how well they are doing. So we're summoning the Guardian number 1, that will be serving as a test target for the Flamer. And of course, make sure that my armor helmet is equipped again. Full armor set is the same. All those pieces have this effect. It's range. So Rangers on 4-star to increase my damage even further, and I would be popping 1 Psycho buff for each of those combats, so Chem included. And the Guardian is in here. It's firing. I can tank it very easily with all this food that Troubleshooter said, so that's not a problem. I will shoot it a little bit. That's for the Bullet Storm. To have some of the initial stacks of the Bullet Storm when the shield will go down. I want to do this first reload, hopefully before shield goes down. Okay, and now we are melting it. As you may tell, the power is there. So that's the power of Enclave Flamer in its particular niche playground. So very close range, melee and very close. What can I add? I think that speaks for itself in regards to how much damage it can do. So this is Enclave Plasma Flamer. Scope is important. The Smart Shot perk is important. That gives surprisingly more damage than criticals could give me. I was surprised myself. I know. I was surprised myself. Gives more damage than criticals would give me. It could do a little bit more damage if I would include pinpointers, but because I'm not using pinpointers on other weapons, so basically those weapons are not getting any extra damage from the 4-star legendary effect on weapon. They do get extra damage from armor. Let's reset this Guardian. Scenario number 2, we are going for stealth approach. So you may see different loadout, more emphasis on stealth and stealth damage bonuses. Elder's Mark will be used. Elder's Mark, quad, weapon speed. There is, on all of them there is conductors. I wanted to be consistent. Those are the mods. The range is decent. So this is an option for range when the stealth is available. And yes, in case of the Guardian, stealth is available, even though very hard to achieve, but stealth suit helps. Chinese stealth suit, that's what I'm using. I did this video in the past explaining how you can sneak around the Guardian. It's still working. So Elder's Mark, the Guardian, and now we need to take its shield down by shooting it and not just wait for the Guardian to shoot us. And with new rules to the VATS not being able to hit when Guardian is looking directly at us, it's a little bit slower than it was in the past. It's still absolutely doable, maybe tiny bit slower, and we are able to like dodge all the attacks of the Guardian. If Guardian could only cooperate more and rotate slower, that would be very nice. And now the Guardian is down and we can start melting its health. And I forgot the coffee. Okay, melting its health, but you can see the damage. Like, it's there, just a little bit lower than what Enclave Plasma Gun was able to do, and we have stealth and range. Stealth is required to achieve this amount of damage output. If stealth is not available, Elder's Mark still performs really well, so you can use it without stealth. It will still work really well, but its DPS will be lower than competition, like for example, Gauss minigun that we'll be using now for Guardian number 3. Guardian number 3, when stealth is not available, the highest damage, Gauss minigun, the heavy gun with Furious, the loadout we have at this moment. That's what we are running for it. And we'll be just standing in here to take down the Guardian. We're using VATS similar like with Elder's Mark. It's worth to mention here, I do not care about critting every other shot. From my experience, it's not much difference if I crit every other shot, if I crit every third shot. Therefore, I am not trying to crit every other shot. I'm going for every third shot critical, which is just fine for me. And you can see amount of DPS that's going on in here. It is absolutely crazy. As for no stealth, and it's not Enclave Plasma Flamer. So you can see now how they perform. They all, in its particular scenario, a number 1. They all. The Gauss minigun is non-stealth, so I could do better with Elder's Mark. That would be a little bit higher DPS. If I could get closer, I can here, but assuming I couldn't, and that's different enemy. If I couldn't get closer, then I cannot use Enclave Plasma. But if I can, then Enclave Plasma will be absolute number 1 DPS, assuming you can hit the weak spot outside of VATS, and you can stay very close to your target, as otherwise it will not work. So those are top 3 weapons. And yeah, I will say that there is more weapons that are very close in the ranking. For example, what I was surprised myself, but Peppa Shaker, after all those changes for Q4 2025, will be one of the top beasts. It can get really close damage-wise to other heavy guns like even Gauss Mini. Doesn't hit exactly the same numbers, but it can get really close. The Gatling Plasma is still doing good, but it's definitely no longer a #1 DPS. It fell behind the Gauss minigun. Gauss minigun is a king, and that's rightfully so. It's way harder to obtain this weapon overall, as you need to grind reputation, spend gold bullion. Therefore, here you are, top 3 weapons. Which one is your favorite? What do you think? Are you happy with the changes? There is no longer auto-axe, no longer railway in here anywhere. They are long gone. Are you happy with meta changing, or would you prefer it to stay as it was in the past? Would you prefer to annihilate stuff with auto-axe and railway? Let me know. And now, as always, thank you all for watching, and see you all in the next one.